Coming to you from the center of the universe in Lipsick, Wisconsin, it's the Hot Rod Tuesday podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Hot Rod Tuesday podcast. I am Tom.
Kyle.
And Al.
We made it to episode 65. Can you believe that?
65. That's right.
Yeah, 65.
Amazing.
Kind of like a milestone. Is that what they call them? Milestone, gallstone, whatever.
Millstone. Yeah.
All right. So coming up this week, we have Bill Weinaug from Plymouth Speedway. He's going to talk about all the changes that are coming up at Plymouth and upcoming events that they got coming out at the dirt track there. You're not going to want to miss that. And then after that, we had a really cool talk with Carly Stupar. You've seen Carly out there with her gasser. It's a 60. What did I say it was? 62. 62 Nova, 62 Chevy II. With Lil Too Sassy on the side. And, boy, that was a lot of fun to talk to her and talk about the things that she had coming up. So she'll be coming up a little bit later. But otherwise, this week, Chili Bowl. Actually, we have it on right now. Some of our local guys did pretty good last night. I saw that Todd Cleaver, he made it in the A main.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight we have Will Garrett's out of Waupun. He looked like he transferred out of the C. He'll probably be going to the back of the B. So, yeah, it'd be kind of fun to watch. And, see these guys out there busting their butts off. What do they have, like 80 cars qualified tonight?
Yeah, 80,
like
81, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and then everything goes up till Saturday night when they run the big money races. And then going away from the circle track a little bit, next week is also Barrett Jackson at Scottsdale. I think that's on my bucket list. Would you like to go I think I'd like to go down there sometime and check that out. Just to see.
Yeah, go to another one.
You can go to another one. I'd like to go see that up close and personal. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it would.
Would.
We got a brother-in-law that's well-versed in all things Arizona. So, Keith, if you're listening, we might need a tour guide if we ever go down there. But, yeah, looking forward to Barrett Jackson. We talked about that a little bit last week, and we're going to have a party for that. And it'll be a lot of fun. But before we get into the show, we want to talk a little bit of housekeeping stuff here. So, Kyle's laughing over there.
I'm just thinking of Family Guy. That's it.
Housekeeping. Yeah, make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We have all sorts of social media presence. So make sure you get out there and like and subscribe and do all the things that you do, share. And if you whatever format you're listening to, be it Apple Podcasts or whatever it happens to be, Spotify, leave a review. This can help us make the show a little bit better. And I guess
and Will Garrett's did not make it to the next race.
He didn't.
No,
okay.
He finished 8th.
Oh,
something happened at the last. Yeah.
Okay. And then with that, I'd like to thank our sponsors for the Hot Rod Tuesday car shows coming up this year. So we got Precision Stripping and Tires from Reeseville, which would be Jumper. Bruce's Classic Restorations, LLC, from the St. Lawrence metro area. And M&S Fabrication from Juneau with old Bob over there. I've known Bob for about 400 years. And Dodgeland FFA alumni. Those guys all chipped in to help us put these shows on. They don't get any cheaper, but, it's kind of nice to have other people step up and help us make sure these bills get paid because, cost of this stuff is going up.
And that's how we keep the show free to the participants and the spectators. Yeah,
that's probably one thing that we don't talk about enough because, we just know it. It just a thing. If you ever come out here, there's no charge for the spectators. There's no charge for the participants. So yeah, we're going to keep this a free show, and just keep it free as long as we possibly can, which probably is going to be as long as our name's attached to it. It's going to be a free show. We're looking, we just wanted to have a place for the car guys to come out, kick back, and have a beer or soda, get some food. That's all going to be, all the food is charities, local charities that they'll make all the food and then raise money for their causes. And we're able to help and give back to the community in that regard too. So yeah, stop out when you're in the summertime here. Make sure you come out and check out our car shows. And yeah, you won't be sorry. It's a great time. So coming up next is going to be Bill Weinaug from the Plymouth Raceway, and stay tuned. On the phone with me, we have a special guest tonight. We have Bill Weinaug from the Plymouth Dirt Track up in Plymouth, Wisconsin. Bill, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
So I'm not gonna lie. The whole reason we got you here, this is going to be like a personal thing for me, and probably all of us sitting here at the table. With Beaver Dam Raceway closing, we need to have a new home track, and I can tell you that being there at Plymouth, the times that I've gone up there, and you guys got an amazing track. Probably the best food of any racetrack that's out there, and most fan-friendly track too. So why don't you talk a little bit about what you got going on up there at Plymouth, and just see what you guys have to offer.
Okay. Well, we would appreciate anybody that wants to come over from Beaver Dam. That track was just an integral part of dirt track racing. For it to leave the schedule or leave as a dirt track is just baffling to me as well. So we're more than welcome. We offer a 3rd mile dirt track. We're mainly Saturday nights. We do have one Thursday night, and we have a Friday night mixed in there. But run weekly classes of 360 sprint cars, Grand Nationals, B mods, and then we take our 4th division. We used to have the 4 cylinders, and instead we have a rotating class, that 4th division, and that's between late models are here, I think 8 nights. We have the IRA come in for some nights. Win the sprints will be the 4th division, Lightning sprints, and Midwest Legend Series, and also the Badger Midgets are returning for 3 nights this year as that 4th division. So a wide variety to what we have to offer here for weekly programs. Then the IRA, the World Outlaws is coming back. We also have Dirt Kings event. So it's not your routine every week, the same kind of classes there. So come up and see us.
Right. I watched the World of Outlaws / High Limit race that was up there last year. Is that when Kyle Larson tried to take out the scoreboard?
Yeah, he tried taking out the turn 1 fence, and it was funny because one of our photographers had some really great shots of him up in the air. And about 2 weeks later, he came back. He said, "Here, I think you might want this." It was a piece of the tail tank off of Kyle's car with part of the 7 is stuck there. So he kept a section of it, and I have a section, so we're both framing pictures and including that piece in the frame. It's kind of a neat addition cool to put onto the memorabilia wall.
Well, that's really awesome. So there is a ton of history at this raceway, as there was at Beaver Dam Raceway as well. I took Kyle up there a couple of years ago, and I told him that Kyle's my son. I told him that there was a vintage night, and they were running the old vintage modifieds. And I told Kyle, I said, the last time I was here, those were the cars that were racing. I mean, with having a track in our backyard and with us being so heavily involved, we really didn't get a chance to get up there. But, man, was it cool to see those cars run again. And the history of that place, is second to none. You want to talk about that a little bit and some of the great names that have been up there over the past?
Yeah, when I started going as a kid in probably the late 60s, I would say early 70s, you had Fassbender was a name. They're still there. The Gaydens was a name. They're still here. The Johnson family was big back then. They're still here. So, I mean, the history and
Wanderers.
The Wanderers, there's a few of them around yet. And it's like it just keeps adding up. So it's neat to see the old names back as well as the new guys starting out. And just for you, our Wall of Fame night is July 11th, where we induct both fans, crew guys, drivers onto that wall. The vintage mods are also a staple to our program of that. So July 11th, come back and see the vintage modifieds and all those guys, as well as they do a car show, car display behind the grandstand. And a lot of guys will come up and at least show their cars. They might not go on track, but it's incredible how those guys have restored those cars to what they were than what they look like now. So,
oh yeah,
it's a great event.
I see those cars today, and I feel a little less manly.
Yeah, we just saw a bunch at Angel Park this last race season.
Right.
That was pretty neat to see them there too.
So,
yep, a good friend of mine, Ralph Pulver, runs an old modified there. So I went down to Angel Park with him last year. Yeah, it's just really neat to see them on the track.
yeah. So do you have any improvements coming to the track? I heard when we were talking off air that you might have a little bit of Beaver Dam coming out there too.
Yeah, part of Beaver Dam moved over to Plymouth. We have the backstretch grandstands that were at Beaver Dam. We'll be going up in spring here. So Beaver Dam still lives here at Plymouth. We added a whole bunch of clay again this year. That's become a routine thing every year to add a bunch of that in. So the addition of the Badger Midgets coming back too, we ended up having a few meetings with Quinn and Todd Cleaver down at Todd's place down in Madison area there. So bringing those guys back, the fans wanted to see them, so we have them back for this year as well.
Well, Badger Midgets never put on a bad show ever. They're always fun to watch. You had a complete brain fart there. Isn't that great? That only happens after I press record, I can tell you that.
We're so surprised.
We do have a distraction today, though, so
yeah,
it makes sense.
No, but we talked about you guys having the best food in the world, and I just want to make sure that people know that. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. So one of the cool things, if you've never been to the Plymouth Dirt Track, Al's laughing at me. Shut up, Al. If you've never been to the Plymouth Dirt Track, one of the really cool things about that is the staging area is right in front of the grandstand. So when the cars come onto the track, they actually come right in front of the grandstand. And man, I really think that is cool. You get an up close look at the cars, and you get to see, you can almost see the whites of the eyes on a driver. You're so close to these guys.
I really like that with the vintage when we were there a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're up above the cars coming out on the track, so you're looking down, and like you said, you can look right into them sitting in their seat, getting ready to go. And it's, I'm going to say 3 feet off the grandstand, 4 feet off the grandstand are the cars coming out for the next race. So, yeah, you're up close. We are one of the only grandstands in the state that is covered. So you get a hot Sunday, Saturday night, or Friday night when we do those rare dates. You're covered. You're out of the sun. You're out of the rain. If it unfortunately has to happen during a rain delay, you're staying dry. So I think that adds a great amenity for us. And the grandstand holds about 3,500 people.
Sure.
So there's plenty of seats. If you don't like sitting down towards turn 4, you can get up and move down to turn 1. So there's a spot for everybody, plus now the backstretch grandstands as well.
One other thing I want to mention, too, that George Bauman just recently retired. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, George was not only the track announcer, but he was the track historian, more or less. He kept just incredible records. George, I knew George back in my days, or didn't know him, knew his name when I was refereeing hockey down in this area. And he announced hockey games. He wrote a newspaper that came out every week, and it was a staple that you read that newspaper before you did games that weekend. But George was always at the track probably 2 to 3 hours before racing even started. And he went down and met everybody and had talks with people. I mean, he was just a legacy guy for us, and we're going to miss him big time. But what we did replace him with was Eric Miller, who Roger Miller used to be the track announcer. Then Eric took over. Eric was and still is the Road America announcer. So he's going to have some busy weekends by the time he gets done out there and comes over by us. So he's a name from the past that has done a lot for us, and excited to have him back in the fold here too.
Well, that's really good. So I think, you painted a pretty good picture of what we got going on up there at the Plymouth Dirt Track Raceway. Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, yeah, we added a new race this year. The World Outlaws is coming back July 2nd. Nick Simons, who used to be down at Wilmot, is coming up to promote a dirt late model race along with 5 divisions, so more details to come out on that. But we are called the Sheboygan County Fairgrounds, but we are privately held, which I bet you 70-80% of the people don't realize that. We do not receive tax dollars. The track is owned by the stockholders and run through using sponsorships. We rely on sponsorship, advertising, different things like that. So you know anybody that is interested in sponsoring a racetrack from the Beaver Dam area and they want to come over to Plymouth, we are more than willing to accept them. So if you're interested in that, we have a variety of different things to do. And then you can contact the fair office and they will put you in contact with me. Sponsorships start at $300 for signage and go up. So if you're interested, let us know. Love to get you involved here.
Sure. So for $300, you can get your name up at the Plymouth Raceway. And I said, that place is full just about every weekend when you have the cars there. The 360s put on a hell of a show, and all the guys up there, that's such a great racetrack. It's such a nice place to be too. So fan friendly. And, we're hoping we can make it up there a bunch of times this year and check you guys out.
Yeah, and make sure you come hungry because, like you said, the best racetrack food around is at our track. So don't stop at any fast food restaurant on your way up. Come get here early. Gates open up most nights at 4:30. So come up and come hungry and get something to eat before you sit down and watch your races.
Yeah, as much as I love the racing, that's one thing I'll never forget is when he went there and had supper at the track.
Well, I'm a fat guy, so I'm always hungry.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
All right, Bill. Thank you very much for calling in. And like I said, hopefully we'll see you a bunch of times this summer. And if not, good luck on this upcoming season.
That sounds great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Hi, I'm Ed. Hi, I'm Bob. We're with the Wisconsin Specialty Vehicle Alliance, dedicated to preserving our right to restore, modify, and drive our specialty vehicles. And we're listening to Hot Rod Tuesday podcast.
Coming to us from the land of flat, it's Carly Stupar. Carly, you might know her from her 62 Chevy II Gaster. It says Lil Too Sassy.
Wrote the notes.
Yeah, Lil Too Sassy. Carly, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
Well, cool. So
obviously never talked to us before.
No.
All right, so we're just gonna dive right into this. First of all, I'm gonna say I love your car.
Thank you.
I'm a huge Gaster fan. I think all of us are.
Oh yeah.
So what got you into racing, especially like the drag racing and the vintage drag racing at that?
Yeah. So ever since I was a little girl, I would always spend, just time out in the garage with my dad, helping, hold the flashlight and pass tools around and learn a couple new words here and there. But
I did the same thing.
Yeah, we would. Yeah. I'm sure we all started somewhere, right?
Yep.
But I grew up out in the garage with my dad and family friends. People bring cars over and we'd work on it throughout the night. And I just grew up going to car shows and so when I was like 5 or 6 years old, a family friend of ours, his name is Jim Parks. He owns Parks Automotive out of DeForest. He had a car show that he hosts every year, and he had Dick Harrell 1968 Camaro. It was one of the funny cars.
Oh, really?
And he said, Carly, would you like to sit in the car while I start it up? And little me, I'm like, yeah, it's another car. Sure, I'll go in. And he started that thing up, and he was, cranking the throttle, and it was one of the alcohol-injected funny cars that he had. And oh my God, I got just the pure. It started there. It was his fault. It started there.
Well, I think we all have goosebumps right now. So.
So little 5-6-year-old me, I just, my smile is just huge, and that's all where it really started. But yeah, when I was younger, my dad had I think it was a 67 Nova wagon. He called it the Nova Nutcase. And we went down to Union Grove a couple times and he raced with that. And that's kind of how I got into like the vintage drag racing stuff.
Okay.
And just one day I said, Dad, I want to do that. That looks fun. So when I was about 12. He had a 40s Dodge, is like a 5-window coupe or something like that. And he said, do you want to start drag racing? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And he said, I'm not just going to build the car and give it to you. I want you to take part in this. I want you to build it. If something goes wrong, you need to know how to fix it. If, God forbid, some reason I'm not here anymore, you need to rely on yourself. And I said, fine by me. When can we get started? So we talked with the guys from the Meltdown Association and kind of got connected with them. And we said, how is a 12-year-old able to start drag racing? And we learned about the junior dragsters, and we kind of went back and forth with that. And I said, Dad, if we build a junior dragster, I'm going to age out very quickly. And then we're going to have to spend all the time and money building another car. Why don't we just build a car right now? He said, that's fine by me. So, he had this old 40s Dodge, and he said, do you want to make this into a dragster? Or a gasser? Do you want to look elsewhere? And I said, well, we grew up, my dad has Novas. We grew up with Chevys. So we ended up finding the 62 Chevy II out of, I believe it was Wapaka we got it from. And supposedly it has history from racing in WIR in the 70s and 80s. So it was already a race car when we got it. But yeah, we started working on it. Again, little Carly at 12 years old. And when I was 13, we went to the Partyville car show, and we had completely gutted the car. There was no engine, no transmission. I think all that was in it was the steering wheel, no seats, no nothing. And we put it in they had like a race class at the time, and we pushed it off the trailer, stayed up to like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning painting Lil Too Sassy on the side of the car. And the paint was still wet when we got to the show. Anyways, long story short, I ended up winning best of class, and little 13-year-old me. Yeah, it was a great experience. So then by the time I got to be 14, I raced at the 100-car heads up in Byron.
Okay.
And the first pass I made was a 16-second 8th mile pass. It was very slow, but I had no experience. I was only 14 years old. And at the time, BJ owned Byron, and we kind of talked to him and said, I want to race. Here's my car. Here's, it's certified with this, this, and this. And he said, well, you're 14. And, I don't really feel comfortable with you driving around in the pits. He said, I'll make a deal with you. Your dad has to ride with you. He has to drive you up to the staging lanes. Then you guys can get out and swap. Carly, you can make an 8th mile pass, come back on the return road, and then my dad has to drive the rest of the way. So made a couple passes like that and just instantly hooked. So it's just gone on from there, basically.
Cool. So you mentioned that, and you probably talked about a couple of them right here, but what's your most memorable moment in that race car?
I think one of the first events that I went to is either the Out of Sight drags with the Bruce City Gassers. It was the Meltdown drags with the Meltdown Association. And I remember, showing up, and we weren't sure what to expect. There's a lot of older guys that are kind of like, I don't want to say old school, but kind of old school.
Yep.
And I was very nervous, very, nobody's going to like me. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm very shy. And we get to the track, and everyone's just like, oh, hey, Carly's here. Tell us your story. And a couple guys that were kind of like, this is more like a man sport. Sometimes when we go to car shows, a lot of guys will be like, oh, is this your daddy's car? It's like, no, it's mine. It's mine. I did everything to it. But I think most memorable moment was just everyone opening up and, welcoming us. It's like a big family, basically.
So let me ask you this. When you got the naysayers and you line up against them and you kick their ass on the line, does you smile just a little bit more?
I do. And it's even better when I'm on the return road and everyone's like, yeah, Carly, you got him. Do it again. And I love seeing the kids, come up to the fence and, those like come up to the car and the parents would be like, hey, my son or daughter is very interested. They want to talk to you. And they're very shy. I'm like, I was just like you when I was a kid. But, come here, let's have this conversation. Sit in the car. Let's start it up, take pictures with it. I hand out little picture autographs and stuff like that. So anything to get the next generation involved, I love. That
was the next question I was going to ask you. How important is it to you to be a role model for these young kids watching watching you, especially the girls. Girls typically aren't in the sport.
Unfortunately not.
Unfortunately not. But you look at Erica Enders and you look at all the other ones that are out there. Girls a lot of times are a lot better at drag racing than guys are because of quicker reaction times. So
when one of the events I raced at was the Fallout Drags up in Rock Falls, and I think that weekend I made 32 passes. It was just I was hot lapping it, going around the track and around and around and around. And my dad was making fun of me. I was standing in the staging lanes and he's trying to talk to me, and I was watching the cars stage in front of me. And I said, Dad, just hold on a minute. And he's like, oh, are you practicing your reaction time? Ha, 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 ha. And I get up to stage and I cut a perfect .000 reaction time. And I came back and I was like, I did it. And everyone's like, you lost. Why are you waving, your time slip in the air? And I was like, I cut a perfect reaction time. And I was rubbing it in everyone's face. So
I would too.
I think 16 or 17. And yeah, that was a good time. That was a memorable time as well.
Yeah, I think if I was to go drag racing, I'd have reaction times similar to Chris Karamessina's.
Yeah.
My reflexes ain't there anymore. But so we're going to talk about that. But just being a role model for these kids. And like when I had a race car, I had a circle track car. One of the things that I would do is I'd take it to schools and I would tell these kids, pay attention in math. That sort of thing. Do you do things like that? I mean, do you want to make sure that, when you have the kids there, do you talk about how important the education aspect is for the kids?
Yeah. So when I was in high school, I was a teacher assistant actually for our mechanical kind of automotive classes.
Okay.
And of course, I'm the only girl in the class and whatever. And I was, tell everyone if I can do it, you can do it. And then I went into college and I found a organization. It's called Women in STEM, stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. And it's basically, obviously, unfortunately, women are underrepresented in STEM fields. And so the whole point of the Women in STEM program is to just, show that we can do it as well. My senior year of college, I was the graduation speaker for Women in STEM program, and I gave speeches to middle school girls that came on campus for STEM events. I gave speeches for our construction events and, just showing everyone this is what I did and this is an option for you. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. We are more than capable of doing everything anybody else is.
Amen.
So I think growing up, having some sort of role model, I guess at the time it would have been my dad. He always be supporting me, my mom always supporting me. But having a younger girl who's also racing, that would have really motivated me a lot sooner than it did. But I got here eventually.
Well, cool. So anyway, the way this whole podcast started, we started with a bunch of guys in a garage drinking beer, end up having car shows. Well, the car shows morphed into this. I'm trying to keep the car shows alive all winter long, so we kind of talk about cars in the wintertime. And if it's ever possible, you always have a standing invitation to bring your car out to Hot Rod Tuesdays. We're just outside of Beaver Dam, and love to have you come out.
Perfect. I'd appreciate that. I last year actually bought a Corvette, so maybe I could get both cars up there. That would be really fun.
That would be a blast. I will send you a schedule here eventually, but yeah.
Yeah, please do.
Anything else you'd like to add, though?
I guess if I could talk about some of the shows I'll be at this summer. If anybody, I always love talking to people. Everybody knows my story. I like to hear other people's stories as well. But I race with the Brew City Gassers right now. We've got a bunch of events down in Union Grove in Milwaukee. I think we'll be at Jefferson this year. I will be another guest appearance at Automotion if anybody wants to come up and
we will be. We are doing a guest appearance at Automotion as well.
Perfect. I'll see you guys there.
Yeah.
We've got races for Memorial Day. We've got the Out of Sight drags. The Meltdown drags are coming back this year, so I pre-registered for that. I'll be there.
We'll be there too.
We've got the Fallout drags in September in Rock Falls. We've got races all the way through October as well. So, like you said, try not to just have car shows just for the summer. We try to span it out as long as we can, right?
Right.
Enjoy the cars while we can.
Right. Well, all right, Carly, thank you so much for calling in. It was wonderful talking to you, and we're really looking forward
Thanks
to seeing
for
you this
inviting me.
summer. Sure, no problem.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thanks, Carly, and we will talk to you soon.
Perfect. Have a great New Year, guys.
You
You
too.
too. It is time to learn a little bit about our past. Kyle's got some history for us. What do you got, Kyle?
Starting off in 1914, the very first Model T from the assembly line was completed. So even though they started the Model T in 1908, the first one from the assembly line was 1914.
So remember last week we had Model T trucks from Chevrolet?
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, I think they came up with a different name somewhere along the line.
Yeah, a little confusing there, but
Yeah. So the first one off the assembly line.
Yeah. Then in 1942, sticking with Henry Ford, he was given a U.S. patent for construction of a plastic car called the soybean, or the hemp body. And because of the war efforts, that was all shut down.
Oh, wow. So what was it?
It was totally made out of biodegradable material. They called it the soybean, or the hemp body.
They didn't have good name people back then, did they?
no.
The first car to have a body entirely made of plastic, 30% lighter than regular metal. And because of World War II, all U.S. production was stopped, and the plastic car experiment went away. But from the advertisement I saw earlier today, they showed like the picture of a ground in a field, and the car coming from the field.
That's cool. But going back to the people that name cars, did you know there was a German company that used to be the only thing that they did was name cars?
Really?
Yeah, there was a company in Japan that built a car, and they called this company in Germany and said, "Hey, we need a name for this." Well, they're like, "How quick do you need it?" And they said, "Well, if you can get it by next week." He goes, "That soon? Perfect."
I should have seen that coming. You know?
Speaking of the German cars, in 1949, the 17th of January, the very first Volkswagen Beetle, designed by Ferdinand Porsche at the request of Adolf Hitler, made its way to the U.S. from Germany.
You know, those cars have a huge following,
They do.
and they're kind of cool. I never got that VW bug, I guess. You know, we had the VW Collective on here from Milwaukee a couple weeks ago, and that was kind of fun hearing those guys, just to hear that they're passionate about those cars. But you know, the 0 to 60 in 3.2
9 seconds.
No, it'd be about 9
Oh,
minutes.
okay.
Yeah, they were slow. That's it. They got such a following probably because people bought them because of the mileage, number one.
Oh, yeah. If you were young and money was tight, you know, even back in the day, mileage meant everything.
When I was a kid growing up, there was old Mr. Intermilly, used to live on the corner from where I grew up, and he had a light blue Bug. And, man, he loved that car. And I was wondering what happened to it because, you know, it was just so cool to see. But yeah, that was our introduction to Volkswagen Beetles. That and my brother-in-law had one, a red one. I rode in that one quite often. Got anything else, Kyle?
I do. We're going to 2014 now.
Yeah, if you'd shut up, Tom.
Yeah. You want this a shorter segment? Just stop talking. In 2014, Brian Clausen won the Chili Bowl. That'd be just a couple years before he passed away. That was his only Chili Bowl win. As we watch the one of the D mains right now, I believe.
Yeah.
And the last thing, this is a local piece of history. In January 19th, 2017, one of our neighbors spilled a bunch of Skittles on the road just down the street from us here.
That wasn't him. Just ask him.
Oh, the article that we have, it's signed by him over at the bar.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was him. So yeah, one of our neighbors dumped, not purposely, but he lost a whole bunch of Skittles on the road over here on Highway S, and it turned the road red for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
And
quite the story
why do
when
you
it
have
happened.
the Skittles?
To
Skittles?
feed it to the cattle. He's
Yeah.
going to feed it to the cattle over the winter.
Yep, you feed it to the cattle so they get bigger and fatter and
Tastes like cherries.
taste like cherries.
Oh, they're red ones. So,
Yeah.
and that's all I got.
You're looking at me like we're full of shit. That actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really did. It was in the Food Network magazine when I cut the article out. Or somebody cut an article out for Tanya.
Well,
or for Grandpa then.
I believe you because you guys are always so truthful with me.
Call him right now. He can verify it for you.
Yeah. This time we're actually telling the truth. Yeah, there was.
Yeah, this time.
That was a great, the great Skittle debate. And I remember the sheriff actually had a Facebook post about it. Yeah, it was a thing.
I'll send you the story right now, Al. So you can see. But that's all I've got for this week.
All right. Coming up next will be The Buzz with Beth. Joining us from the bathroom at the Sussex Bowl, it's Hot Rod Beth. Beth, welcome to the show.
What's going on, you guys?
Don't forget to wash your hands.
Yeah.
No, never. You got to nowadays. Ooh, all the sickness going around.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was. Did you guys have fun bowling?
Yeah.
I did. Heck yeah.
Everybody I talk to, they look at me and they say, well, you really suck at bowling. I said, yeah, I do.
Well, everybody thought you guys were a legit team because you guys all looked in the right uniforms and everything. You were looking good.
Perception is reality.
We sure fooled them, didn't we?
Yeah, we were professional till that first frame.
Yep, you sure guys were.
We bowled the 300. You had all our scores together.
Right, add them all together, exactly.
Yeah. No, that was a good time, and hopefully next year we get a bunch more people because that was too much fun for people to stay home and not do.
It was, even though we had a little snow, that didn't hold everybody back. We had about 100 people all together, so wasn't too shabby at all. And the chili was good.
Yeah,
but you know what was better?
The chicken.
The chicken, yes.
Yeah, the chicken was great, and people think it's just a big act for us to say that we love the chicken. And it is not just an act. The chicken there is fantastic. It is.
That's fine. Don't eat it. That way there's more for me.
Right. You know what? I did have a couple other people have chicken, and they agreed with you, Tom. So I can't thank you enough for the kudos to our chicken.
Yeah. No.
Anyways.
Love it.
The chicken is good. So actually, I do have a couple things coming up, and I bet you probably got them on your list too. So I'm going to beat you to it with these two.
Okay. Get down, Brown.
The first one is the Merrill Ice Drags. They're going to have one coming up Saturday, January 17th. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the ice and everything is on there. You might want to check before you get up there. But it's Test and Tune Day, and that's held right on, I believe it must be right on a lake up there somewhere in Merrill, obviously, because it's on the ice. And then the other one is a week from tonight is Tuesday, January 20th from 5:30 to 8:30. You have Beers and Gears at the Wisconsin Automotive Museum. It's $20 per person, includes admission and one complimentary drink, and then they also have a bar available. So, looks like a lot of fun for next weekend. At least we're starting to see things on the calendar.
Okay, wait, back up. You said Beers and Gears. Is that in the museum in Hartford?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're going to make sure that everybody knows where that is. That's cool. That's really a nice museum, too. Have you gone through there?
Mm-hmm. A couple times.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, they tend to trade things out once in a while, but yeah, good stuff. Are you guys going or no?
We are going. We have actual in-studio guest next week. We have Steve Mecklenburg. He wanted to come in and get the whole thing with the he wants to talk on the microphone and drink our beer and
he wants to see the garage. Is that it?
Well, actually, we'll probably be in the back room, but yeah. He just wants to come in and have a good time. So that we're going to do that. Hopefully they'll do another Beers and Gears coming up, and we'll be able to hit that one for sure.
Okay, sweet. Well, we got a few things going down on our side here. Again, the bowling thing was great. We are slotted for next year. It's going to be January 9th, Saturday from 11:30 to 3:30. Chili dump. Awesome stuff. Good stuff.
Yes.
January 25th, there's the toy show and swap here at Sussex Bowl from 8 to 12.
Wait. Let me back up just a second. Talking about this, the bowling tournament now, or the bowling chili dump thing, you don't have to be, there was kids there. There was, like, Danny was there. He was about 105. Everybody, all the age groups are able to participate. If you don't know how to bowl, it's fine.
It's even better.
Yeah. I had a 47 in the first game and a 99 in the last game.
Show off.
Yeah. It was. So if you don't know how to bowl, it makes it even more fun. Like with me, with the guy next to me, Brian, I had a 47 in the first game, and he had a 42 or a 40, and I looked at him. I said, "You want some lessons?" He just laughed at me. But anyway, so you got
and it wasn't just all bowling. There was some fun stuff in there, so anybody could do it.
Right.
I think you had to do backwards bowling.
Yeah, I wanted to yell green 19, or green 18, whatever it is, but I was more afraid of pulling a muscle when I was bent over there, so I didn't want to yell out. But yeah, the ramp bowling, the backwards bowling, the offhand bowling, God, it was such a good time.
Yeah, we had a bunch of trains that went through and awarded some prizes and stuff. So there was raffle prizes. And all in all, like I said, it was a good time. That was for sure. So,
okay.
And the food was good.
Food was fantastic.
Food was
all right.
good.
Well, so let's go back to the toy thing. That's January 25th.
Yep, at Sussex Bowl from 8 to 12. So if you're looking to pick up some Hot Wheels or you're looking to pick up model cars, 8 to 12 here at Sussex Bowl, come in the side door. There'll be breakfast available, and I'll have coffee and stuff like that.
Cool.
Yep, and then on, let's see, what goes in. Let me go in line here. February 1st up in Iola at 2 o'clock. They're having their 4th annual swap summit. So if you have any questions, any concerns, anything about the swap area up at Iola, be up there. They'll have their meeting going on then. Then on, February 9th, here back again at Sussex Bowl, we're having our indoor car show. When I announced at the bowling, the chili dog, I made a mistake and I said February 2nd. It's February 9th for the indoor car show here at Sussex Bowl from 3 to 6 during happy hour. And yes, we will have plenty of chicken available.
Good.
So that's on the 9th. Then what else do we have? We have, February 22nd at the Washington County Fairgrounds. There is a regular swap meet. That's done by, it's hosted by the Model 8 Car Club. Every year they do that. That's another kickoff to swaps.
Sure.
So just go to Washington County Fairgrounds website, and they'll have more information about that. I believe that opens at 8 o'clock in the morning, too.
Okay.
Then on, the 9th, we got the 22nd. On February 28th, we have the All Car Club meeting at the Knights of Columbus in South Milwaukee. So if you're planning on having a car show, you're planning on doing a cruise, you have a swap meet, you have something going on, make your flyer and come to this meeting. It's from noon to 3, noon to 4. Come at 11 o'clock. We do a 50-50 raffle there. Each month we go through who's having what, where the shows are at, what time they're from, what's going on, catching everybody's mistakes, making sure that we're trying not to impede on other people's shows, but when you only get 4 months of summer, you kind of have that happen.
Right.
But all the besties are going to be there. All the best shows are there, usually ticking off their time, and all that information too will be on WisconsinMotorsports.com. All that information will be transferred onto there, so those that can't make it to the meeting still get that information. And then the other thing that I really have to go over is, if someone's looking for a place to host their car show, Foxview Lane's great spot. We've got a stage outside. We can park 200 plus cars. We got real bathrooms, real food going on. You name it, it's happening. Alcohol, beer, wine. Well, there's a little bit more than wine, but anyways, you know how that goes.
Yeah, right. We got it.
You know how that goes. And yes, things are starting to pick up, so I'm getting excited. And then, you know what? The 31st, I'll be in, LA. That's right, for the National Roadster Show. So I'll have more information for you there.
All right. Well.
So yeah, exciting times. We've turned the corner on winter, I think.
Finally, yeah. You got to get past all that Christmas bullshit.
Well, I don't know about you. It was 50-something degrees here today.
It was only like 24 here today.
It was 53 degrees today in Sussexville.
No, actually, it was like 68 in the garage. But anyway. All right. So I guess we got you all caught up on the stuff that's coming up. Coming up next is the shit that Al says. Al, what do you got for us this week?
You know what the worst thing my wife ever said to me while having sex? I'm home.
Oh, my God. That poor woman. Poor woman. All right, that's my cue, because damn. Incredible. You are something else, Mr. Al, I tell you.
All right. And speaking of you and Al, there was a certain picture that we had on Facebook with. So do you want to ask your question now?
Al, have you worked on your truck at all?
Like the shirt said, no, my car isn't done yet.
Oh my goodness. Come on. I'm ready to start selling tickets to have somebody come over and give you a hand. You've got parts laying there, don't you?
That I do. I got a whole mountain of them.
Well, let's get on it. Do you want me to send you some help?
No.
Are you sure?
The garage is my escape. I get to go out there, sit in a chair, drink beer, look at the parts, and I don't have to listen to, what's her name? The wife. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I tell you, you know what? We're going to find someone to come and join you so that maybe you can give them direction on how to fix your truck.
Well, that's how Hot Rod Tuesday started.
Yeah.
You'll have another car show to do then.
Now, if somebody wants to come over, sit in a chair and drink beer and look at the parts, that's great. But, we don't want to finish this. Not too quickly.
What? Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, it is what it is. I'm going to continue asking, and you better at least, can't you just do one thing per week?
Oh, Lord.
Just one.
Quit
just
trying to
one
rush him,
thing
Beth.
per week. I can't ask him to do a half a thing, but one thing per week.
I'll give it some thought.
All right.
Sounds like you're in middle school right now.
Right.
All right. That's going to do it.
I'm off like a prom dress. Thanks for all you guys do.
All right. We'll see you later, Beth.
All right. Take care. Get out there and smell your cars for a while, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Hot Rod Tuesday podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us and spending your time with us. If you enjoyed this show, make sure you're subscribed and maybe pass it along to a buddy who's into hot rods too. If there's something you want us to talk about or a build you want to share, just reach out. We're always ready to hear from you at the Hot Rod Tuesday podcast at gmail.com or 920-306-1411. Until next Tuesday, take it easy, keep the wheels turning, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Hot Rod Tuesday.
Thanks for listening to the Hot Rod Tuesday podcast.